Hello, Wellness Check Wednesdays community. We wanted to take a moment to remind you that while our podcast serves as a safe space for open discussions and sharing experiences, we are not mental health experts. This podcast is a platform for you to express your thoughts, feelings, and experiences in a judgment-free zone. Our aim is to foster connection, provide support, and create a sense of community. It's crucial to acknowledge that we are not a substitute for professional mental health advice or treatment. If you or someone you know is dealing with mental health challenges, we strongly encourage seeking guidance from qualified professionals. Remember, reaching out to mental health experts can make a significant difference. If you ever feel the need, don't hesitate to connect with a licensed therapist, counselor, or healthcare professional.
This is the Wellness Check Wednesdays podcast, a share space, a judgment-free zone, a place to meet and discuss our mental health. So let's check in.
Well. Man, oh man. Ooh. Episode 23 of the Wellness Check Wednesdays podcast. Man, oh man, 2-3, the GOAT. They ain't up for debate. I ain't got time for LeBron fans. Y'all know who the real GOAT is. But we ain't here for all that. We are here for our mental health. And man, oh man, May is Mental Health Month. And we are here as always on Wednesdays. We always say, teaching everybody out there.
Let's check in.
All right. That being said, you know me, I am the moderator here at the Wellness Check Wednesdays podcast. My name is Brian Livingston, aka B Live. What's happening? What's going on? What's going on in the world today? Wrong podcast. And I have the originators of the Wellness Check Wednesday podcast. First, all the way north up there in Cleveland, Ohio, I got the one, the only, my man, Edwin Vereen.
Be live. 3 things. Number 1, the weather is nice. Number 2, work was slow and it stuck. And number 3, SummerSlam pre-sale tickets go on today.
Man, see, now I'm depressed because I already got an event I'm going to on
that is right.
That day. Yes, I will be in Columbia.
That is right.
Day of SummerSlam. All right. I'm gonna be all right. I'm gonna be okay. It's all right. It's I'm okay. Ooh.
I didn't mean to impact your mental health. Be live. I'm sorry.
That's all right. I don't want to be there. It is what it is, though. Also, one of the other originator of the Wellness Check Wednesdays podcast here in Fayetteville, North Carolina, by way of the shared studios, my man Kevin Marshall.
Yahtzee. And one thing in the Fayetteville local news, walk-on closed.
Yeah. You're about 4 or 5 hours late. I run a multimedia production studio. You don't think I get the news first? Come on, bruh. I was actually recording another podcast, and the young lady that is the host of the podcast, she actually works there part-time as an administrative manager type personal situation. Y'all know Dominique. She's been on the show before. She got a notification because it was a Facebook post that somebody tagged somebody that tagged somebody else. She's like, all right, cool. I'm out of a job. It's not her main job. It's not. She just does it part-time. But yeah, they get the sign on the door, and so mental health, especially when it comes to those people that are out of a job. For people that are out there that may or may not know about the restaurant industry, whenever a restaurant decides to close its doors, it is almost always with 0 notice. Because of liability issues. If you know the place is about to close, guess what I'm doing if I know the place is about to close? I'm raiding the liquor closet. I said what I said.
Oh no.
I said exactly what I said. I'm not gonna hide behind it. I like a cold beverage. And hey, a couple of bottles here. Just guess what? Because what the restaurant does, they're gonna try to sell everything and keep some of the money.
Be like gonna be hiding behind the door in the liquor closet.
I'm just saying. So
What B Live is gonna do, B Live, make sure you get a Macallan 12 year.
ooh, shit. I don't know. Yeah, actually, there are a couple places here that carry Macallan 12. But yes, we can go
And those are the places that carry Macallan 12. They're not closing any doors anytime soon. I'm just saying.
do that as well. But let me see if I can Amtrak. Let me bring this back because we didn't went off the deep end when it comes to our mental health and what this podcast is all about. But our topic of discussion this week is also man, we've been doing this 23 weeks, and I feel like every single topic it just hits the nail on the head. It's a firecracker. It's whoo. And we're talking about this week, we're going to be talking about pride, good and the bad side of pride. And what I'm going to do before we opine on it and go deep into it, I'm going to pass the mic over to my man Edwin as he gives us further information about pride.
Pride, Pride, a 5-letter word with a lot of strength behind it. Now, as we know, pride is like a sense of accomplishment. Like, you know, I did something. I did it. It's me. I got it. But the thing about pride is pride can help out your mental health, but it also can deter your mental health as well, too. So I'm going to read a few excerpts from the ADHDwellnesscenter.com, and it has an article entitled What Pride Can Mean for Your Mental Health. It says the term pride can be a very confusing one with all the conflicting messages that we received about having pride and being prideful. It can be very difficult to decipher whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. It almost seems like, depending on the way it's being used, it could be taken either way. This makes it even trickier to figure out how this sense of pride can relate to our state of mental health. And so I scroll down a little bit further because I speed read through all these, but as always, I'll provide you the link. It says, in fact, pride can be a very good thing for mental health in many cases. Having high self-esteem is a good sign for the rest of your mental health, and it is what can keep you pushing when things get tough. The right, healthy amount of pride can encourage greater achievements and success. But then there's the trouble with pride on the back end. Somewhere right between the right amount of right type of pride and right amount of pride is where you find trouble in it. There are multiple different ways in which pride can be a detriment to your mental health. There's a case that causes many people to think of pride in a negative light, where it should really be called arrogance. Arrogance. So, you know, pride and arrogance, and it's also, speaking of arrogance, it has a section where it talks about arrogance, talks about low self-worth and too proud to change, and it always encourages you to not let pride stand in your way. So real quick, so we now turn from the reading to the podcast itself. Now, when it comes to pride, fellas, I'm a pretty prideful person. But I also have been told on many occasions, and I'm still trying to do it to this day, you know, pride will do a number on you. Pride will absolutely do a number on you in more ways than one. If you can be too proud to go to the doctor, the next time, you know, you finally go to the doctor and it's too late, so you probably got away. Also, sometimes if you may need financial assistance, you think you may try to get it, but hey, you know what? Maybe I should ask. Maybe I try my best not to ask anybody. As long as I'm working, living, breathing, got breath in my body, I'll be good to go and everything. So pride is just one of those things for me where it's kind of like it's good for you, and then it has detriment as well too. For example, this work I do for the for I-90 Sports and the radio station WOBLW, I take great pride in it. I take great pride in it. I put my all, and I'm proud of the product that I put out. Some other things personally, the pride I have, I feel that I should be doing more as a person. And I'm not overly proud of where I am now because I know there's always more, because I don't want pride to get mixed up with complacency. And day by day, I'm always learning that, hey, sometimes you got to swallow that pride. You got to swallow that pride and have that conversation or take that action, do what you need to do, so that way you can back the feeling on the good side of pride. What say you, Kev?
Pride to me is one of those things of having grit, whether it's good pride or bad pride. And when I say grit, it boils down to one of those moments of you just never give up. Like you just said, piggybacking off of what you just hit on. With me, I have that grit of never wanting to stop, never wanting to get complacent, never wanting to get substantially comfortable in a situation or in a mindset or in a room that, like, oh, I'm the best person in here. Oh, I'm the best, da 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 da. No, because there's always something that can be learned. There's always something that can be taught. And it also goes to one of those things too that I feel like dealing with on the bad side of pride is people who wake up with a victim mentality of hey, why me, or this should have happened to me, or that should have been done that way. And I'm not gonna lie, I woke up, I've been in that moment, a state of mind where why not me? Why me? Why me? Why me? But then lately, I don't know if something's changed or as I'm getting older that it transformed into why me instead of why not me, or to why not me? Because I'm blessed for this. I'm blessed being able to get up, go to work, to put a smile on somebody's face every day. Like, and like I said, I have enough grit to know that I did something positive today. Be live.
Oh, pride, 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 and pride. Which way do y'all want it? Y'all want me to give y'all the
I think you forgot a pride in there.
definitely. Y'all want me to give y'all the bad side or the good side first? Which one do y'all want?
Let's go ahead and start with the bad and get it out the way and get it over with.
Go ahead and get the bad out the way.
Yeah.
Ooh, boy. I'm gonna go in my bag for this one.
Oh,
because I mean this goes back to Eddie Medical. This goes back to the earlier stages of our friendship. In high school, I was that nerd. I was that straight A student that had to show everybody that I was the smartest kid in the room, the smartest kid in the class. And that comes with a level of pride. Every place I stepped in, I was exceptional. I was never middle tier. I was never okay. I was always exemplary. You hear me using all of these SAT words because it sounds good. It rolls off the tongue so well. That had been so many years. I don't know if you've ever heard this. Heard it saying, "Pride comes before a great fall."
Yep.
Ooh, I've fallen a lot because after I was put on this high pedestal, graduated with honors, with the highest scholarship money, the most scholarship money that's ever been seen in all of Horry County, and I thought that I was it. My shit don't stink. I am that dude, blah, blah, blah. Then I walk into a university, I walk into the Naval Academy, and I walk into 1,400 people that are the best at what they do, et cetera, with all of these accolades. And I'm over here like, wait a minute. My pride, but I'm the best that's ever been. The best there ever was, and da 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 da. The Heart Foundation.
Yeah. You was in your Bret Hart bag there for a second. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's what you was at. You was in your Bret Hart bag there for a second.
Now check this out. Check it out. Even at the Naval Academy, I still achieved more than what most people did. I ended up getting selected to be on the Naval Academy color guard. I was one of 12 people to get accepted to the Naval Academy drill team. So I was still the silent drill team. I was still doing exceptional things at an exceptional university. Naval Academy is one of the top 5 hardest schools to get into. My pride was through the roof. You couldn't fit my head into a building. You could at all. That was me. And until it wasn't. And the thing about it is that I say that. I say, oh yeah, I say that because we're talking about from a childhood all the way up to about 2001 when I came home, and that pride fell when I left the Naval Academy under the circumstances that I did. Academic probation, to the overall probation, all the things. And I got to face my parents. I got to face all these people in my community and say, I didn't make it. And it's always been something, no matter how much I try to shake it, no matter all the accolades I try to put myself together and everything like this. And it took me a long time to get over myself. But I had to get over the fact that I was so prideful in my own way and I try to replace that pride, and I try to do other things that make myself look extraordinary again and exemplary. And I had to realize over the course of time and life that, hey, bruh, pride isn't the way to go in certain aspects. Humility, you got to be humble. And that's why even to this day, like I share my story not as a brag, because I can't even brag about it no more, because what is that doing? I could tell a good story of how things used to be. But I tell the story now, and that's the pride of the good side that I want to talk about, is that what I do now, I want to be an example to people that are younger or people that are my same age that get full of themselves from time to time, like, hey, yo, I just don't think for a second that you're better than that you're above a certain thing, because life has a way of bringing you to your knees
quick.
But I use my story on the good side of pride is that even good pride won't let you settle for anything, just any old thing. Even at what I do now, I'm still going to do it with excellence. Anything that I touch will be exemplary. It's going to be extraordinary because I don't put out just mediocre stuff. I wasn't built that way. That's the pride that I have within myself and any brand that I represent. So any job that I've had, anything that I've done for myself and or for others, I have that pride in that brand and in myself that I will excel in anything that I do. I don't do just any old thing. I don't settle for any old little thing. Probably be single for the rest of my life because of that. But then again, there's stuff like that. But that's
look, when it comes to that, man, you really can't settle. I don't think nobody can. Some people do, but I just know I can't.
And the crazy part about it that sounds crazy coming from me and what little I have. But the thing about it is I won't allow the limitations that I have to define exactly who I am. I have limitations.
Mm.
You can't, for certain things, you like, how is he doing this, and that without this, and this?
Don't worry about the money, player. Don't worry about it.
Don't
Don't
even
worry about
worry
it.
about it.
Don't even worry about it.
I will tell you first off, and this is real talk. One thing I can brag about and boast about and be prideful about is my select friends that have been there to help me throughout these things. Man, quick shout out. I'm gonna say this on the air, Kev. I know you may or may not want me to brag about you. I'm going to brag about you. Man, you came through in the clutch this weekend, bro.
Hey, that's what brothers are for, man.
You came through in the clutch. My man is a Fayetteville PD or Cumberland County Sheriffs that don't listen to this part. But no, I was DJ.
Don't do it.
I was none of the whatever. I don't care. They can't arrest me after this. I was DJing a wedding and it rained and everything got delayed and I was supposed to be scheduled for a certain amount of time. Kevin had to work. And I was like, well, I mean, he helped me get there, helped me set up and all the whole 9 yards. And that was already above and beyond. But it was his brainchild. He thought about this. I should be the one thinking about the exit strategy, but he thought about this. He's like, you know what? Be live, Brian. I thought about this. I'm going to let you borrow my Jeep. And I'm going to have another friend of mine come pick me up so you at least have something that you can carry the equipment with after everything's said and done because everything got delayed. I didn't end up leaving this wedding until 12:30 in the morning.
Oof.
Oh God.
So if
they was out there getting it.
And so they had karaoke and everything. But if it wasn't for him and his being able to think ahead, I would have been just out there. Because it'd been hard pressed to get an Uber XL out there and it would cost me about $50, $60. You know what I'm saying? But my man came through. And that allowed me to DJ a wedding, a moment that this couple will never forget, their family will never forget. And we were able to provide that for them. Despite the limitations. So when people are like, how do you do this? Don't even worry about it.
Don't even worry about
Don't even worry about it. But now, Kevin, I want to give you your flowers. I appreciate you. And thank you for helping me out through that. And that I will boast and brag about having the best brothers, best friends that a brother can have. So
we got you, man. We ain't gonna leave you out there hanging and dangling out there like that, man, because they ain't no fun. Hey, look, now I remember there was some situations where I was like, be live. Boy, I need this to happen. And what's the other boy, Reese? Like, I was living in New Hampshire, man. I was down bad. I didn't have a car nor a license. I said, but my mom was like, look, I'll send you some money. I said, man, I'll figure something out. So I called Reese. I said, Reese, I'm gonna need the world's hugest favor. I'm trying to get back down to South Carolina as quick as yesterday. But Reese made it happen, and boom, I'm back. And through a little point in time, I went through a little stage of depression, trying to readjust the life back in South Carolina.
Right.
Be live, our other boy JR. Let's get about this house. They 2004, but get about this house. And so, yeah, man. And yeah, that pride is something, man. Pride will just like I said before we hit record, but I had a feeling. I said, damn, man. I said, without saying too much, I think I'm on the brink of something, the precipice, if you will. Something is there's a shift, and I've been seeing signs, just kind of seeing things, and just and so I'm just, but it's good signs though. It's just
you seen that glitch in the Matrix,
huh? I wish I did.
You seen that glitch in the Matrix?
If I did, I fix everything. But yeah, it's just it's just having that pride, man, being prideful. Like, you know what, man, my work is, when I do the videos and the highlight reels, I do a pretty good job. But I always tell myself, hey, don't get, be proud, but just don't get complacent. Like pride and complacency, whether you know it or not, they lay in the same damn bed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pride and complacency lay in the same damn bed. So, like, you have to not let your pride try your best not to let it, be so detrimental, because it can, if you let it run amok, you can, just got your chest poked out all the time and all this stuff. Because, for a while when I was on Facebook, one of the worst things you can do is look at somebody doing good, look at yourself, playing the comparison game. The best thing about me is probably about 6 or 7 years ago, I stopped that because it wasn't doing me no good. Like, I went cold turkey. And if I interact on anything, it's either about some sports, some food, some music, or something, or a podcast or something. Other than that, man, I'm not spending too much time looking at, okay, they got this, they got that, and then, that old pride gets in the way. Nah, ain't nobody got time for that mess, man. I don't.
Well, and one thing I do want to say, and B-Lab did bring up a good point, is that nobody ever talks about riding the gate in good pride and having bad pride.
Yep.
It's being humble in both circumstances.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Because you can have bad pride and still not be humble, but play that victim card.
Yeah.
Whereas you could have bad pride and be humble and then start to reteach yourself, you know what, this ain't as bad as what it could be. This situation ain't as worse or isn't as worse as it could be. And it starts to reteach yourself that, you know what, I can do better. I can be more. I can obtain more. I can open more doors. And being humble, even on having good pride, is once you reach that self-accomplishment, is that you being the CEO, you being the owner of your own business, but being humble in my eyes is to one of those points that I will always respect a CEO, a janitor, like a CEO. I will have the same utmost respect for the person who's cleaning the toilets after hours as a business owner.
And I want to mention this also with when it comes to pride being being good, pride within yourself. Pride within yourself. Because there's one thing that, and what the kids call it, standing on business. Is that
standing on business? I'm standing on business.
Here's where pride within yourself is, because there's a fine line with this. Standing on business also means that, hey, you're not going to take a mess.
Mm-hmm.
When you're not the CEO, when you're not the top dog or whatever, you could be middle management, you could be a journeyman, a laborer, et cetera, et cetera. There's so many different levels to when it comes to the corporate or the career world, et cetera, et cetera. But standing on business, like, hey, I know that you may be the boss of me, but there's just a certain level of respect. Just don't, but respect. Don't. I want. There's a very fine line. I want people to hear me when I say there's a difference. You can't be just out here just like, oh, I'm standing on business. You can't tell me. First of all, if they're giving you something to do, and you don't feel like doing it, then they can find somebody else that can replace your standing on business self.
Yep.
At the same note,
hey, B-Live, they'll be standing, instead of standing on business, they'll be standing their ass in the unemployment.
At the same note, I will say this. You can't just talk to me any old type of way. Now let's just be real. Just because you got an extra comma in your bank account doesn't mean that you're better than me and that you could talk to me any type of way. Now that's the pride that I have within myself that I'm always going to carry. Is that, hey, I am a person. When it comes to what I do, I'm very good at what I do. So at least give me a level of respect, and let's talk about this in the business system, stuff like that. So I've had conversation with a couple people that have a couple of commas in their bank account. Hey, check this out. As long as we come to an understanding, we will work very well together. But don't think for a second, just because you got a couple extra commas in your bank account.
Because at the end of the day, I put one pants leg on just like you do.
Just like say it louder for the people in the back. Say it louder for the people in the back.
And in the words of Glorilla, at the end of the day gonna end.
Exactly. So, man, oh man, this was I feel like I have talked way too much when it came to this topic. This was just something very near and dear to my heart.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But when it comes to pride, this is something that's really big when it comes to mental, especially my own personal mental health. So I'm thankful for a topic to be able to talk about this. I'm thankful for the two of you for joining us. You know, you can already tell where I'm going with this because you know how Zoom is.
Wait. Wait, I got one thing to say.
Got a minute and 12 seconds.
Eddie, cool. We got the narrator to come in.
No.
The narrator.
The narrator. B-Love always excludes himself as the narrator and the moderator and the Amtrak designated driver.
Yeah.
Hey, that's what I said. Like I said, I am perfectly fine being the man behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? I have no problem with that. But as always, when it comes to what we do here, Wellness Check Wednesdays podcast, make sure you take care of yourselves. And on Wednesdays and any other day that you need it, always let's
check in. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. Love you, Mom.
Thank you for listening to the Wellness Check Wednesdays podcast. Please join us every week, Wednesdays on Zoom at 6 p.m., and join our Facebook group for updates and to participate. We care about your mental health, so let's check in.